Hello, and welcome to another Michigan Google Community Leaders Program training video. Today we're going to be talking about Google Calendar, which is a great tool that allows you to do scheduling for your business and personal life, plan meetings, share them easily with colleagues, and generally just make everything a lot easier when it comes to scheduling and maintaining everyone's schedule. So here we are on google.com. We can access Google Calendar by one of a couple of methods. You can either go to google.com/calendar, which will take us there, or we can go to the apps pane over here and click on Calendar. Here you can see we have my calendar loaded for our Michigan CLP video tutorials account. There's no events created on the calendar. When you first open the calendar, you'll be viewing a screen that has just all the dates broken up across the top here and the hours on the side. There's a smaller calendar over here. It's difficult to see because of the camera, but there's also buttons that allow you to scroll between the months just above this calendar. You can select which calendars are displayed, whether you want to show your own calendars. This is a birthdays calendar. You can add your own calendars to this calendar to track different events, such as a personal calendar or a work calendar. You can also add calendars from other accounts. If someone shares a calendar with you, you can determine whether or not they'll be displayed in this main view. We can navigate between weeks in this view with these buttons up here, or immediately jump to today. You can also change the way that the calendar is displayed. We can go to just a view of just today. We can go to a view of the week, which is what we were in before. We can go to a view of the month, which allows you to see the whole month laid out like a standard calendar. We can go to a 4-day listing, or we can go to an agenda view, which will show different events. We don't have any events saved here, but as you can see, there's my birthday and other holidays in the United States. So we'll go back to the week view for now. And we're going to talk today primarily about creating an event. This is the most important thing you can do with calendar, obviously, and so there's a couple ways to do it. Again, because of the camera, you can't really see it, but there is a create button in the upper left, right over here above the smaller calendar. But the easier way, in my opinion, to do it is you just create on when you want the event. So let's use the today button to skip back to today, and we'll say we want to create an event at 3 p.m. So we're going to click on the Monday 1/26 at 3 p.m. It says Monday, January 26, 3 to 4 p.m. We'll say what? We will say and then we can create the event. We can do a little bit of editing in terms of the time visually by dragging on these two little lines to make it a longer or shorter event. We can also move the event around within the calendar by clicking and dragging anywhere other than those little lines. We can then click on the event to do make more detailed changes to the event. We can change with text when we want the event set. We can change the time zone of the event, different countries, and different time zones within that country. We can set the event to be all day. We can set the event to repeat. You can make it repeat daily, every weekday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, weekly, monthly, or annually. You can make it repeat every so many number of weeks if you want it weekly. You can choose the days that you want it to repeat on. You can set when it starts. You can set when the repeating ends. We're just going to leave this like that for now. The where option allows you to set where the event is. So we'll say Google Ann Arbor, which gives us the location of the event from a drop-down search. You can add a video call, which we'll talk a little more about when we get to talking about Hangouts. Video calls are a great way to do conferencing without needing everyone in the same place, but excuse me. For the purposes of this video, we're going to not worry about Hangouts. But that is a very useful feature that we'll touch on in the Hangouts training. And then you can also set what calendar it goes to. You can change the owner of the event if you're creating it for someone else. Say if a secretary is creating it for a manager. We can add a description. You can change the color that it displays on the calendar. You can set the notifications. You can make it either an email or a pop-up notification. Pop-up will do things like show up on phones and things like that, and in your Chrome window. And then you can set the amount of time before the meeting that you want the notification to take place. You can also add multiple notifications if you'd like to send an email reminder in the morning and then make sure everyone gets a notification on their phone in the afternoon before the meeting. You can set your availability status for the meeting or the event rather as available or busy. And then you can also change the visibility of the event if you want to show it to everyone or if you want it to be private. Only people you share it with will be able to see it. And then, of course, one of the most important things is you can add guests. So we can add guests. These are a couple of my email accounts. You can make their make attendance either optional or required. You can allow guests to modify, invite others, or see guest lists for the event. You can email the guests, which allows you to send a message that tells them about the event and ask them to respond. When they receive the emails, they can reply that they will either be attending, maybe attending, or not attending. And then from there, you can make sure that everyone's going to be set up for the meeting. If they accept the meeting or the event, they will then have it added to their calendar, and their status will be set to public, private, whatever. You can use suggested times, which allows you to see when different people that you've added to the guest list have free time on their calendars, if they've allowed their calendars to be, they've shared their calendars with you or allowed them to be viewed publicly, which can be very useful if you've got a lot of people who are using Google Calendar and keeping it up to date. So we can save our changes, and as you can see, the color changed to red. We've added our where, who, we removed the other people. I can say yes that I am going, and then we have our event all set up, and anyone can see this. You can have things that are set up all across this week, and it allows you to very easily at a glance see when someone's going to be busy. Even if you don't want to add your personal life events onto a Google Calendar, if you keep your work events all scheduled, then it's a really easy way for people to know where people are, when people have things planned, and what the best time to plan events and meetings are for the team. You can also use it to manage scheduling if you work in a situation where you have hourly employees that are scheduled. It's a really great way to do that because you can ask your employees to create a Google account, even if it's not their personal account, just one for work, and then you can share the schedule with them that way. And they can very easily get in touch with each other for things like shift changes and coverage and for any other problems arising with the schedule. So overall, it's a really great tool, and when used in conjunction with other Google apps, allows a huge degree of ease of management of schedules and of timing for events and other things. So thanks a lot for checking this video out, and we will talk to you really soon. Thanks.